Hi, I'm Nikki from Teaching Autism and welcome to the Autism and Special Education Community Podcast. Are you an autism or special education professional? Are you a teacher or therapist looking for support and new ideas? You may even be a parent, family member or carer. This podcast is perfect to help you find out more information, support and get some of your questions answered. Hi and welcome back to the Teaching Autism and Special Education Community Podcast. Today's episode is the third and final part of my Making Reading Fun series, and today we are talking all about how you can use the iPad app Book Creator to make reading fun for your students. Now, the great thing about Book Creator is that it comes with a free option and a paid option of the app. So if you're unsure how your students will feel about Book Creator, or maybe you're unsure if it's something that will work, you can start out with the free version first. Now, the way that I like to make reading fun with my students is to allow them to get creative with stories. They can use Book Creator to make their own stories up, either individually or as part of a class project. The class project one is actually my favourite to use, so I'm going to start with this one. What I tend to do first is for all of our members of staff to come up with an idea for the cover and the first page of the story. So maybe we'll put on there something like the title, which could be Mr. Frog Goes to the Beach. Then on the first page, we'll put a picture of Mr. Frog. It's so easy just to go on Google, save an image, and then import it into the Book Creator app to use, and then just one quick short sentence to start the story off. Then we hand it to a student for the next page. So they need to read what's already been put together in the story, then add a page and continue the story. It's like a continuous writing prompt, and it's the perfect way to encourage students to read or be read to and enjoy the story experience. It also gets them being creative and using their imagination to try and create their own story. So once the story is completed, we then actually print it out, we laminate it, and we bind it together as a book. The students love when they get to read the stories they've created, and especially when they're kept in our classroom library. You can also do this where students make up their own stories. So you could give them a topic or start them off again with a cover and a first page, or you can just let them be totally creative, let them just go wild with their imagination and make up any story that they want. This is also a great way for you to see what your students are most interested in. I don't know about you, but we are always on the lookout for things that motivate students and things that can double up as reward systems and motivators for them to work. And honestly, one of the best ways for us to find out what the students are most interested in right now, because it does change a lot, is being able to see what they're writing about in their stories. You can even have students use pictures of themselves and create a story about themselves. Maybe you want them to make an autobiography about themselves and their lives. Maybe you want them to be a character in their own story. Many students love being able to use photos of themselves, and you can encourage so many learning opportunities with this. Getting them to take pictures in different settings, maybe they'll dress differently for certain parts of the story, maybe they'll take pictures doing different facial expressions and expressing different feelings. There are so many skills that they can work on when they're using themselves as a character or the main role in a story that they are making. Another way that you can use Book Creator is for students to carry on a story. So choose a story to read together, and this can literally be any book off your bookshelf. And then once you've finished reading the story, task your students with carrying on that story. What do they think happens next? This is a great way for you to see how much your students took notice of what was happening in the story, and then to let them use their imagination for what they think number 2 in the book series should look like, or what's going to happen next. A few times we've done this, and we've actually sent some of the Book Creator stories to the author of the books, and we've had so many great responses for this. But another option for this too is if you're reading a bit of a longer story and you're going to split it up into maybe a few reading sessions, you can have students use the Book Creator app to predict what they think is going to happen next in the story. This is also great for comprehension too. What happened in the story today? What was your favourite part of this chapter? Who is your favourite character? What do you think is going to happen next? There are so many ways to use the Book Creator app to link with reading, and honestly, most of it can be done with a free app. I actually have had students who will go on the Book Creator app in their free time to start making stories up once we had introduced this and just having fun making up their own storylines. There are a few other apps that are great to use alongside stories and reading, so I'll link those in the show notes for you today so you can head over and check them out as well. I'll also link to my Instagram page where you can find a story I've done all about using Book Creator to make stories and how to use them for comprehension activities too. I hope you found this podcast episode helpful today and that it's given you some ideas of ways that you can extend story time and continue to make reading fun for your students. This series was a lot of fun for me to put together, especially because you guys know how much I love stories and reading. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Teaching Autism to keep up with some of my favourite books that I like to use with my students and share yours with me too. Thank you for listening, and I'll speak to you again soon.